asking you to do what we need to do. We're one big family, and it's still that way today. God wants us to help people that needs helping. You know, you see people all the time on the side of the road. And instead of helping them, sometimes we kind of avoid them. I watch people sometimes, especially during Christmas. You go to the ball and stuff. The door where the salvation people, army people that's clinging, people go around, go to another door. They don't want to go past that door. I stand there sometimes and watch people. I get kind of tickled. I watch people a lot. I do. And trust me now when I tell y'all that I listen now. I'm a really, really, really good listener. My wife says that's impossible because you're really, really, really big mouth. So I don't know how you can listen to nobody. You talk all the time. But trust me, before my memory started fading a little bit, I could tell you everything that we talked about or y'all said when I was with you. And you might not have thought that I was listening because I was steady running my mouth, but I'm listening to everything you said, and I was just soaking it in. I could come back and tell you what we talked about. I know I talk a lot. But I listen. I listen. But anyway, as I was saying, that's what God was trying to get them to see now, was don't look at anybody as outsiders, especially back during those days when he brought them all together. We all one. We all one. We're supposed to look out for each other, help each other, and we're going to be one big happy family. Isn't that what our goal is right now, to try to get to heaven? Why do we want to get to heaven? Because that's what heaven's going to be like. No burdens, no tears, no pain, no evil, no nothing. It's going to be one big happy place, and that's always been God's vision. And he was upset because here he is. He's saved these people twice now. He brought them out of Egypt out of bondage. Now he brought them back from the Babylonians out of bondage, and they still not doing any better. Talking about stiff-necked now, hard-headed. Just hard-headed. But then, you know what, I kind of laugh sometimes because if we look at their plight and we look at them, they didn't have what we got. What I mean by that is they don't have all the evidence of what the world is. I mean, you know, they were 70, 80, 100 years into it, and some of the people knew what was going on, but they didn't have a whole lot of stuff to go by. So they and then this was going to be something different, especially when you change from Old Testament and the New Testament and the Messiah came. You spent all your years learning what the law was like that Moses gave you, and then all of a sudden here comes Jesus saying, okay, those things are good, but then you got to live like this and you got to do this kind of thing. So they didn't have a whole lot to go by. But now look at us. Woo! You had 2,000-3,000 years to see what goes on, and when we go through these lessons, I really like them because they parallel us so well. You can go in these lessons and find the same stuff that went on 2,000 years ago still going on today. Same kind of stuff, same stiff-necked people. We still just as hard-headed, still just as hard-hearted. You don't know if it's going to ever change. But anyway, that's the first outline. Anybody got any questions, any comments about it? I know it's something y'all want to talk about in there, something y'all want to mention, something y'all want to tell about yourself. Why did Marvin put this thing right here? Anyway, any questions, comments? Okay, second outline. The results of Israel's care. Isaiah 58, verses 8-9. 8 reads, Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry for help, and he will say, Here I am. If you remove the yoke from among you, the pointing of the finger, the speaking of the evil. What God is saying here is if you do all these things that I just told you about in the earlier verses, if you do what I command you to do, then it's going to result in a blessing. Your nation is going to experience righteousness and a feeling of peace. When you do your fasting and your rituals for the right reason, then I'm going to bless you. When you do it for the right reasons, then you can call on me. If you're doing it because you want to be closer to me and you want to worship me and honor me and do what you're supposed to do, then you're going to be rewarded. Your light is going to be seen afar. It's going to be like the dawn. You all ever? I just told you about what time I go to bed. I was going to ask you ever seen the day when the day is first starting? I know Marvin had because, like me, Marvin was a football player. The football season comes around, we have 2 and 3 days. And that first practice would be at 5, when you go to camp would be at 5:30, 6 o'clock. And you go outside, you're already dismal because they woke you up and made you go out there. And you look around, it's dark. They fussing and running around behind you, hollering, it's in the morning. No, not this morning. You the same old stuff. And then all of a sudden, that right, Marvin, all of a sudden the sun just just pop out, just like the dawn. It just come, and then you feel a little bit better because at least you feel like you out there in the daytime and you ain't going all night and doing this stuff 24 hours a day. Matter of fact, I don't know what basketball camps are like, but I don't know. You got to be kind of halfway something wrong with you to really love playing football now, because there's so much stuff involved. There's so much stuff involved now. But it's such a great game too. It's just like life. It's a game of life. But anyway, he's telling me that you're gonna be like you're gonna be like the light. It's gonna be like the dawn. You're gonna be a beacon of light, and especially for those that don't know God. What God expects us to do is what we do and he expected them to do. When you get these blessings and you learn stuff, take it with you. Let everybody know how good God is. Let them know that how good he is. And that's kind of like our charge. That's what we're supposed to be doing. They will now have the presence of God among them. If you go back to the thing, it says, the next thing saying the healing shall spring up quickly. That healing that they're talking about is, they were coming back from exile, and their land was torn up, city torn up, houses torn up, temple torn up. And they were allowed to go home. They were given resources. Even Cyrus even gave them back some of the treasures that they were looted and had that they put up. He gave it back to them. So your healing would be the restoration of your city and the restoration of the temple. That's the healing. So it says spring's going to spring up quickly. When I free you, if you do what I ask you to do, I'm going to help you to build your city back, to build your lives back, to build the temple back. I'm going to help you. Your vindicators shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. In other words, I'm going to be there for you. The vindicator, the light is going to be there to lead you. And then the Lord is going to be your protector. He's going to be your rear guard. So not only am I going to take you out of the bondage, if you do what I ask you to do, I'm going to help you to put your city back together quickly. And you don't have to worry about nothing. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to help you do it, and I'm going to always be there with you. This glory of God that they're talking about is in reference to, you remember back when Solomon built the temple, the one thing that they was hoping for was for the glory of the Lord to fill the temple. And that's what he's telling them here too. The glory of the Lord is going to be there, and not only is it going to fill your temple, but if you remain faithful, then you're going to have peace, and I'm going to be there, and everything is going to be taken care of. You don't have to worry about nothing. And if you be faithful, and even though you weren't faithful, and your fasting was pretentious, and you weren't doing things like you're supposed to, if you do, it's going to answer, regardless of what we do. And when he answers, you can count on him. You can count on his presence. You can count on his power. You can count on his protection. You can count on his provisions. He's going to take care of you. If you remove that yoke, like he told you, if you're not hard-hearted and not tight-fisted when it comes toward the needy and the poor, if you don't entertain mean thoughts or do evil, if you stop blaming, stop finger-pointing, and rebuild your spiritual life, then you can call on him, and he'll answer. He will answer. Any questions? No questions? No comments? Let me do all the talking. Okay, third outline. Verse 10, the requirement and results for Israel's care. Isaiah 58, verse 10. If you offer your food to the hungry, if you satisfy the needs of the afflicted, then your light shall rise in the darkness, and your gloom will be like the noonday. As I said a minute ago, this has always been the case with God. He has always championed the poor and needy, those that are lower in stature, those that are exploited, those that can't take care of themselves. In the old days, it was the widows and the children and the orphans and these things. God always took care of those that needed taken care of. always promised to be their protector, and that's what he tells us every day too. If you take care of those people, you should take care of them, just like I take care of you when you're in need. When we're in need, God takes care of us, right? So if we got it, we should be willing to give it. Now, I've always thought about that. And I really don't know the answer, and maybe y'all can say, because it's people that will kind of use this thing right here to try to get what they need getting, especially family. They'll kind of use that. When have you done enough? Can anybody answer that? We'll get y'all to talking. When do you feel like you've done enough? Huh? Comes especially family. I know family members that will come and get, and never, and if you read the Bible says that when you do this, you really shouldn't expect to give it back anyway. And like I said, I know people that will quote stuff to you and tell you this and try to remind you, you're a Christian, you're a deacon now. You're supposed to come by and help me. When you see I need something, you're supposed to help me. You see my grass hasn't been cut. You see all this kind of stuff going on. And then I remind them of what the rest of that passage says. First of all, your children are supposed to look out for you. And then if you're an orphan, if you're a widow and you don't have anybody to protect you, then yeah, I'm supposed to do that. But if you got children and they live in this same community, then you're supposed to kind of call on them first. I know people will keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So, I've always wondered when you stop. I don't really know when. I heard what you said, Deacon Jack. It's up to you. When but that's what I'm saying. I'm getting y'all to help me to know when to stop, because I got some that don't never stop.
I think you run to a problem. You got family members always come to you. You said enough's enough, but then another family come to you, and you use that same criteria. Well, he used, I ain't gonna help this family. Mm-hmm. So enough, as Deacon Jack said, really is your heart has to be willing to discern it.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is get a heart
yeah.
and say, well, all my family used me.
Right.
So just because this one used it, you don't want to help the next family.
Right.
So I think that's how it can become an issue. When you say enough's enough, and you love family, that's every family.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't say, well, let your kids help you.
Yeah.
But if I go to that, I can't do it. If the kids don't help me, that's like, some kids ain't gonna help the family.
They're not. You're right, they're not.
But my thing, you don't want to harden your heart.
Yeah.
And use that criteria just because one family member used it.
Yeah. Well, the reason I said that is that because when you use that to try to get me to do what you want me to do, then sometimes I'll come back with that. You say you need your grass cut. Okay, well, I'm having a hard time cutting my grass, but I don't mind coming down to help you. But then what bothers me is that, just like you just said, your son lives across town. He lives across town. He got a lawnmower.
It's just like how Deacon John and Deacon Jack said, though. You have to follow your heart. You have to know what your limits are, because if you feel like they're using, then you're doing it like a ritual.
Yeah.
So there's really no point in you helping.
Yeah.
You have to see how you feel in your heart.
Because just like fasting, and I used to fast, but my problem was I was fasting, but I worried about when 6 o'clock would come. So I never concentrated on my spirit.
What you were doing, why you weren't concentrating on why you were doing it.
I was fasting, I was doing ritual.
Right.
It's some more fast, gonna open up my heart and mind.
Right.
And then we're trying to tell you about family members. You almost helping, but you put conditions on it. This family member used me, I ain't gonna help another. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I didn't say I wasn't helping. I'm just saying when enough is enough, because as well as I do now with family, the word travels and the word spreads, and the family knows those that are doing better than others. And then when one family member goes to one and say, hey, man, I need this, and he say, I don't have nothing, man, you better go see your Uncle Robert. He got it. You better go see your Uncle Robert. He got it. So, yeah.
To whom much is given, much is expected.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's a weight thing, I was just, I wasn't saying that I was cutting anybody off. I was just wondering. I'd like to get an opinion of people when you kind of figure out, when have you done. Well, I guess you've never really done all you can do if you still got. I guess you've never really done all you can do, It's just a thought. It is a thought. It is a thought. Um, as I said, God has promised to be your protector, and He expects us to take care of others just like He takes care of us when we need help. And that especially includes the afflicted, those that don't have the same status that you're supposed to have. And instead of helping people like that, a lot of time they really get trounced on. I look at this, I can't think of the organization, but I don't know how many people that they've been able to get out of prison that's been in prison for years that was innocent of what was happening to them, but they went because they were of their status and they weren't able to get the best attorneys and to get the best stuff, and they went, and so God frowns on that kind of thing. He says we need to try to these people are not looking for special favors, and they not looking for you to just do something for them because of what they are. They want you to just have equal justice. And that's what God is telling you. We need to make sure that we take care of the poor and needy. We take care of, especially with resources, food and clothes and that kind of thing, to take care of those that are less fortunate, to not hide from your kin when they answer the door, call on you at the door. Don't hide, and pretend you ain't there, you don't see them, and this kind of thing, try to, and especially those that are exploited because of their status in the community and so forth. Always take care of. Again, God is wanting us to make this one big community, and we are. We are family. We're not family by blood, but we're family because we're all children of Christ. So we're all His children. So we are all family, and we're supposed to try to look out for each other and try to do the best that we can. But if you do these things, then it says that your light is going to shine and you're going to be rewarded. Your light is going to shine during the darkest and the most difficult times. It's just when people are really down and out and don't know it. Your light's going to shine when you help these people now. And your gloom is going to be lifted like the noonday. That's if you ever watch the sun, at noon, the sun is at its highest point in the sky. It's the brightest it can be. It's the biggest light it is. If you do these things and do as God commands us to do, then your light's going to shine and you're going to be rewarded. You're going to be rewarded. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be rewarded to make that journey with Him, make that walk with Him, and one day live with Him. Any questions or comments about anything in the lesson? Anything at all? I know it's I try not to be too short with it and to try to hit the things we need to hit, but any questions, any comments about this? It's a lesson about life. It's a lesson about life. God expects us to do exactly what He is expecting of the Israelites years and years and years ago. Let's be one. Let's be family. Let's help each other. And let's try to be the best possible Christian children we can be. That's my prayer every day. Can help me to be the best possible servant I can be. That's what I pray. I try to look out. I try to just live life like I hope that I'm supposed to be living it. Got a lot of ground to make up. Closing in. I'm closing in on it. I got a lot to make up. I'm trying to close in on it. But I'm getting there. My heart has always been good now. Our heart has always been good. Yeah. Hey, work in progress. Huh?
My wife has a question to ask you.
I said, what do you have to make up for? Because when God forgives you, that's...
Yeah, but and that's the thing is sometimes when I think about things, I haven't really yet forgiven myself for it. I know He has, and I'm trying to forgive myself. And I'm closing in. I'm closing in. Like I say, my heart's always been good. Always had a good heart now. Ain't always followed my heart, but always had a good heart. Ain't always followed it. Ain't always followed it.
And she's right. One of the toughest thing is to do is to give yourself.
Yeah, yeah.